From the moment you turn 50, a silent thief begins stealing your strength without any warning or caution. You might notice it when you try to stand up from a chair and your legs suddenly feel like they're made of lead. You're not lazy, and you're not broken. The truth is, your body is lacking one essential vitamin it desperately needs to repair lost muscle. Alongside that, there's one scientifically backed food that could be your strongest ally against sarcopenia, a condition causing muscle loss and weakness that affects about 1 in 3 older adults. It's time to stop this decline, and it starts right here, right now, on your plate. Sarcopenia quietly affects millions of seniors worldwide. It rarely makes headlines, and most doctors don't mention it during routine checkups. Yet sarcopenia is responsible for up to 50% of hospitalizations due to falls in people over 65. It's the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function that comes with aging. If you're over 60, you could be losing 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every year, unless you take action to reverse it. At first, the symptoms are not very noticeable. A slight weightiness can be felt in your legs. Without making use of your arms, it is impossible to get out of a chair. Walking up to the second floor is a tiring activity. One day you realize that your balance isn't as it used to be, and you find yourself pausing before you step off a curb because of this. This is the bit that nobody tells you about, though. Aging in this manner is not typical. It is a lack of nutrients in the body. In addition to that, there is one that is the main attraction, one that has the ability to transform the situation on its own. The name for it is leucine, an amino acid that has been used for decades by medical professionals, nutritionists who work with elderly patients, and Olympic trainers will soon be discovered in a single, uncomplicated dish. How come leucine? Because it is beneficial to more than just the muscles. This is the switch that signals your body to repair them, and it is the important switch. According to the findings of a study that was published in the Journal of Gerontology in 2022, older persons who consumed foods high in leucine on a regular basis regained 40% more leg strength over the course of 12 weeks without making any adjustments to their workout regimens. This is almost twice as much as the improvement in strength that the control group experienced. The act of lifting weights is not the definition of strength in this narrative. Getting out of bed without assistance, standing tall while brushing your teeth, and taking a stroll around the grocery store without the use of a walker are all examples of this. Let's talk about liberty. I'd want to tell you about George, who is 73 years old and retired from the truck mechanic industry in Ohio. It was during one winter that he fell in his garage and was unable to rise up. Prior to that, he had always been strong. It was not because he had sustained an injury. Rather, it was because he just lacked the strength in his legs again. Such a situation filled him with dread. His wife couldn't help but dial 911. Consequently, ever since that day, he has been plagued with the fear of falling once more. It was not with the intention of finding a miraculous medication that George came to visit me. It was important to him to regain his strength. As a result, we concentrated on his diet and included a single food item that was not only inexpensive, but also readily available at any grocery shop and was loaded with leucine, which is known to restore muscle. In a minute, we will disclose the identity of that food. Please do not hesitate to leave a remark below beginning today in order to ask any queries that you might have. In order to ensure that you are always receiving the most helpful health advice from Senior Health, be sure to remember to click the subscribe option and activate notifications. And if you are watching at this very now, I want to know that you are agreeing with me. Leave a comment with a 1 if you feel that this video resonates with you. In the event that not, type 0. In the first place, however, you must comprehend what it is that makes it so potent. In order for leucine to have its effects, it initiates a biological process known as muscle protein synthesis. This process is responsible for informing your body that it is time to increase its strength. Your body requires a greater quantity of leucine with each meal than it does with a younger person, because as you get older, you naturally become less receptive to this signal. What exactly is the issue? Most elderly people eat the wrong things for breakfast, which means they miss out on their body's best opportunity to repair muscle damage that occurs as a result of fasting overnight. Because of this, the first meal of the day is more important than it has ever been. What about this dish that we are about to disclose? That is the ideal dish for breakfast. It is exceptionally high in leucine, and it has been utilized for many generations in societies that are noted for their active aging. In point of fact, research conducted by the University of Tokyo discovered that elderly people over the age of 70 who had this dish 3 times per week walked more quickly, had improved balance, and saw a 28% reduction in the likelihood of falling. On the other hand, we will now discuss the name, the science behind it, and how to put it to use. The cost is reasonable. It is simple to put together, and there is a good probability that it is already there in your kitchen at this very moment. Eggs, which are nature's most precisely constructed food for regenerating muscle tissue, are the topic of discussion here. Eggs have been misunderstood for decades, and they have been wrongfully blamed for increasing cholesterol levels or causing cardiac problems. Nevertheless, more recent study conducted by prestigious institutions such as Harvard and the Mayo Clinic has fully disproved that misconception. When it comes to preventing the loss of muscle mass that comes with aging, there is nothing that can compare to the effectiveness of eggs. Now, why do eggs? Mainly due to the fact that each egg contains around 1.3 grams of leucine, which makes it one of the most bioavailable sources of this muscle-rebuilding amino acid, particularly for elderly people whose digestive efficiency has decreased. Additionally, it is not simply leucine. Eggs are an excellent source of complete protein, which means that they include all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body requires in order to maintain and rebuild muscle tissue. What does that imply for you is as follows. It is not necessary for you to purchase expensive powders or supplements. You do not have to consume a substantial amount of meat 3 times a day. By eating just 2 eggs for breakfast, you can support the development of strong, sturdy, and effective muscles. A group of elderly people over the age of 65 participated in a research trial that was conducted in 2020 and reported in the American Journal of Research Nutrition. Every morning, half of the group consumed 2 whole eggs along with a side that was high in fiber. What the other half consumed was juice and toast. Following a period of 12 weeks, the egg group exhibited notable enhancements in leg strength, balance, and walking speed, in addition to improvements in energy levels and a reduction in the number of reported falls. Permit that to sink in. Your ability to stand taller, walk steadier, and move more freely can literally be improved in a matter of weeks by consuming a food that costs less than $1 each serving. Let me now provide you with an introduction to Helen, a retired educator from Arizona, who is 77 years old. Her hip was damaged as a result of a little fall that occurred in her garden, and as a result, she developed a fear of walking by herself. Her strength and confidence both suffered as a result of the situation. Her daughter sought out to me in the hopes of preventing Helen from being placed in a care facility or being prescribed medicine. Therefore, we began with a little amount. Only one aspect of her day, breakfast, was altered by our actions. Helen started eating 2 scrambled eggs with sautéed spinach and a slice of whole grain bread from that point on, rather than her usual breakfast of coffee and toast. One day, she added a little bit of avocado, but it was nothing special. Within a span of 3 weeks, however, something shifted. Helen mentioned that she did not feel as hollow in her legs. Through the use of her arms, she was able to rise from the chair in which she was reading, and maybe most importantly, she resumed walking her dog by herself. So, with full assurance, the nutrient-dense food in question accomplishes this goal. Here is what the scientific community has to say about eggs. In case you have been informed that they are hazardous for your cholesterol levels. The vast majority of adults can have 1 to 2 eggs on a daily basis without any adverse effects, particularly when accompanied with a diet that is abundant in vegetables and fiber. The true threat is not eggs. Rather, it is the loss of muscle. And for this reason, this diet is an absolute necessity for anyone over the age of 60. Listed below are a few easy ways to prepare eggs in order to maximize their ability to absorb nutrients. To protect the delicate amino acids, the food should be poached or soft-boiled to increase the amount of antioxidants in the body. scrambled eggs with olive oil and greens, prepared as mini vegetable muffins for a breakfast that can be taken with you and stored in the freezer. I'll also share with you a timing trick that is more important than you might imagine. Try to consume eggs during the first hour of waking up, after your muscles have been completely depleted of food for more than 8 hours while you are sleeping. This provides your body with rapid access to leucine at a time when it is most responsive to it. Do not undervalue the impact that a single minor adjustment can have. Although it may feel like breakfast, your muscles are receiving a message that teaches them to get stronger for each and every day. It has been a mainstay in the diets of people from the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern regions for many years, since it is cool, creamy, and a healing food. We are discussing Greek yogurt, a superfood that is high in calcium, helps repair the intestines, and supports the muscles. Every senior citizen over the age of 60 should consume Greek yogurt on a daily basis. Due to the fact that the way in which your body absorbs and utilizes protein is equally as significant as the amount of muscle mass you have. Both of these are supported by Greek yogurt. This is why it is so strong. So let's break it down. To begin, it is one of the most abundant sources of casein protein, which is a type of protein that passes through the digestive system slowly and supplies your muscles with a consistent supply of amino acids for a number of hours. This is of utmost significance for elderly people who frequently go for extended periods of time without eating. According to the findings of a study that was conducted in 2018 and published in the Journal of Cachexia Sarcopenia, and muscle researchers discovered that older persons who had dairy products that were high in casein overnight showed higher muscle regeneration than those who did not consume such items. This morning, they noticed a noticeable improvement in both their balance and leg function. You have it right. Consuming Greek yogurt before going to bed can aid in the reconstruction of your legs while you are asleep. Second, Greek yogurt is full with probiotics, which are beneficial bacteria that enhance digestion, decrease inflammation, and boost the body's ability to absorb nutrients. It is more important than you might believe that this is because if your digestive tract is not operating as it should, it will not be able to collect and transport nutrients like protein, calcium, magnesium, or vitamin D to the parts of your body that require them the most, which are your muscles and bones. In addition, let's discuss about calcium next. In a single serving, Greek yogurt supplies around 20% of the calcium that your body requires on a daily basis, thereby promoting bone density, joint cushioning, and appropriate muscle contraction. For this reason, I always ask myself, what is the point of having strong muscles if they are not supported by strong bones? Let me now tell you about Doris, who is 82 years old, a widow and a retired florist from the state of New Jersey. She had been suffering with bloating, leg weakness, and recurrent ankle discomfort for a number of years, which made it difficult for her to walk for more than a few blocks at a time. She believed that her body was simply too old to be repaired. On the other hand, when I examined her diet, I observed one thing. She did not consume any dairy products, probiotics, or really little protein after lunch. One minor modification was made by us. She started eating a half cup of plain Greek yogurt mixed with ground flaxseed, cinnamon, and blueberries every night after supper. This was her new routine. Her digestive system began to improve after a fortnight. She reported that within a period of 5 weeks, her legs felt more grounded. Furthermore, during the 3rd month, she was walking without experiencing any pain each morning, and she was even attending Zumba Gold sessions on a weekly basis. Synergy is a powerful force like that. One easy and reasonably priced food that contains protein for the muscles, calcium for the bones, and probiotics for the absorption of nutrients. The following is a list of things to look for when purchasing Greek yogurt. Plain and unsweetened variations, avoiding hidden sugars that induce inflammation, an amount of protein that is at least 15 grams per serving, checking the nutrition label, live active cultures for the greatest possible benefit from probiotics and alternatives that are full of fat. They have a higher concentration of fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, and E, which are beneficial to the health of nerves and the coordination of muscles. You shouldn't be concerned if you have a sensitivity to lactose. The lactose content of Greek yogurt is lower than that of conventional yogurt, and many manufacturers now offer lactose-free variants of Greek yogurt that are manufactured from coconut, almond, or sheep's milk. When is the optimal time to consume it? After dinner or 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed, your body will start the process of repairing itself at that point, and the slow-release protein found in yogurt provides your muscles with the tools they require to rebuild themselves even while you are sleeping. In conclusion, if eggs are your ally in the morning, then Greek yogurt is your defender in the evening. Together, they produce a technique that can reverse the loss of muscle, protect your balance, and restore your confidence all within the span of 24 hours. In some cases, the most significant alterations begin with the most insignificant additions. Chia seeds are one of the most underutilized yet potent weapons that nature has to give, and they are particularly useful when it comes to reversing the reduction of muscle mass and re-establishing stability. Not only are they tasteless, but they are also tiny than a grain of rice, and adding them to your diet takes only a few seconds. On the other hand, their influence on the bodies of the elderly is something but insignificant, particularly with regard to the health of nerves, inflammation, and equilibrium. So, here's why. Chia seeds are abundant in omega-3 fatty acids, notably alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, making them one of the most abundant plant-based sources of these acids. These healthy fats play an important part in maintaining the sharpness and responsiveness of your neurological system, which has a direct impact on the ability of your muscles to contract, your coordination, and your reflex time. As we get older, the connection between the brain and the muscles might slow down, which can result in stumbling, a longer reaction time, and that unsettling feeling that your legs aren't keeping up with your thoughts. A study that was conducted in 2021 and published in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience found that senior citizens who consumed a single tablespoon of chia seeds on a daily basis for a period of 8 weeks saw improvements in their gait speed, reflexes, and neuromuscular control. This was the case even though they did not alter their exercise routines. Moreover, it is not all. In addition, chia seeds are a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. They include a high concentration of polyphenols and antioxidants, which help reduce joint swelling, muscular soreness, and stiffness. These are 3 of the most significant factors that contribute to decreased mobility in aged persons. Allow me to tell you about Ronald, a retired mailman from Oregon who is 79 years old. In addition to the nerve-related foot pain that Ronald had been experiencing for years, he also suffered from what he referred to as the shuffle, which was a slow and hesitant gait that made stairs and curbs feel perilous. Physicians gave drugs to alleviate nerve discomfort, but Ronald's goal was to find a solution to the issue rather than simply numb it. Because of this, he began by including chia seeds into his diet on a regular basis, adding 1 tablespoon of them. He added them to his porridge in the morning and stirred in. Later on, he chose to include them into smoothies or simply soak them in almond milk for the entire night. In a span of 3 weeks, Ronald became aware of something quite astonishing. He had a stronger sense of connection to his feet. It was possible for him to shift his weight without swaying, and the discomfort in his calves that used to present itself when he went for walks just about gone. What has changed? Chia seeds included omega-3 fatty acids, which were beneficial to his peripheral nerves because they reduced inflammation and improved the functioning of the electrical communication between his brain and muscles. This is the secret power that this seed possesses. However, omega-3s are not the only benefits. Moreover, chia seeds are a remarkable source of magnesium, which is necessary for the relaxing of muscles and the avoidance of cramps. Calcium, which is necessary for strong bones and stable posture. Fiber, which is necessary for digestive health and maintained energy throughout the day. Proteins provide around 4 g per meal to the process of repairing muscle tissue. On top of that, they are really simple to operate. Some of the ways to get started are listed below. Mix a tablespoon of the mixture into the yogurt or cereal. In a blender, Combine spinach and banana and blend until smooth. A mixture of almond milk, cinnamon, and a dash of vanilla extract can be used to make chia pudding. Sprinkle on top of scrambled eggs or veggies that have been roasted. I recommend taking 1 to 2 tablespoons per day, preferably hydrated, and soaking it for 15 to 30 minutes in water or milk. This will yield the best possible benefits. It is especially crucial for older persons who have slower metabolisms to take advantage of this, since it improves digestion and nutritional absorption. Now, here's an added bonus. Chia seeds that have been hydrated expand in your stomach, making you feel fuller for a longer period of time. This helps you maintain a healthy weight, which is another important aspect in protecting your joints and keeping your energy levels maintained. Chia seeds are your silent daily guardian, keeping your nerves sharp, your muscles responsive, and your balance solid on a daily basis. If eggs power your morning and Greek yogurt restores you at night, then chia seeds are your silent daily protector. Even though they are the smallest food on this list, they are the ones that make the most difference for a lot of elderly people. Because the moment you start feeding your muscles instead of just using them, when you stop blaming age and start partnering with your body, everything begins to change. Perhaps you haven't felt it yet, but something is already changing inside of you. This is because the moment you start feeding your muscles, everything begins to change. Your musculature, they are not going to give up. They are now awaiting the reconstruction of their structure. Nerves, are you? They have not been damaged. To put it simply, they are requesting assistance. How about your legs? They still have the ability to transport you to any location you could ever imagine going. It appears that you have been lacking the appropriate resources. This is a review. It's eggs, the morning signal that will stimulate the growth of muscles and the strength of legs. The Greek yogurt repairing the bones, the digestive tract, and the body during the evening hours. Chia seeds are the protector that helps maintain equilibrium, nerve clarity, and inflammation control around the clock. Together are you? Simply put, they are not foods. You might think of them as a tactic, a covert support system that helps you piece together the foundation of your independence, not any pricey dietary supplements, not even radical diets without any complicated routines. 3 natural foods that are easy to prepare to be incorporated into your regular meals. Reconstructing the strength that you believed you had lost before. Right now, picture this. Today marks the 6th week from now. After removing the handrest from your chair, you are now standing up again. As you move across the living room, you are walking. There is no trembling. Do not be hesitant. While you are leaning down to tie your shoes, you are able to stand back up without any difficulty. In addition, you are not only moving, you're making progress already. So, with full assurance, without ambiguity, while maintaining command. And in case you were wondering what would happen if I combine these nutrients with a particular 5-minute routine that stimulates even more profound muscle regeneration. Well, we'll discuss that when we get together again as a result of the fact that this trip has just started. When we get started, I would really appreciate it if you could tell me where you are coming from today. Leave a remark below. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. In addition, make sure you click the subscribe button and adjust your alert settings so that you are never left out of Senior Health's.